Pas dire de de bêtises. Welcome to this session, Emmanuel. Onboarding Emmanuel to smart contracts on Bitcoin. Session number 5. So it's our last session before you do your own presentation. I don't know if you heard about the fact that you were presenting your own next session or whenever you're ready. I forgot my glasses somewhere for some reason. Can you bear with me 1 second?
Sure.
I'm sorry. All right, so today is going to be very, very, very relaxed, okay? Maybe we'll say 1 or 2 words about New York City Coin. Was launched a few days ago and already raised $3 million in a matter of days. Yeah, for the
last time I checked, it was 2 million, so it is gonna be 3 million. Wow.
For the city of New York. So
Yeah.
complete donation to the city of New York. Amazing launch of New York City coins, and then the goal of the session is simply to demo how to stack your stacks, and if you choose to do so, Emmanuel, we can try and stack your stacks with Friedger, the pool that is administrated by Friedger, and in which case it pays your Bitcoin yield in stacks. So that's the goal. Do you have like a computer we can do this on?
Yeah.
Right now? Is it your computer?
Yeah.
Okay. So all you need is to download the Hero wallet, but desktop version.
I did that already.
Okay, perfect. And then, well, you can recover your wallet from there, I guess, using your seed phrase.
Yeah, I did.
You did that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. So we can maybe demo that, and in the same time we can just, having a really casual Sunday session.
That's fine.
You can tell us about your exams.
I know. Okay, maybe now I can talk about it. It was quite an annoying one, but it's fine. Anyway, I can talk about it.
It was tough, right? You had a tough week.
The week was stressful, I would say. Having 3 exams in 1 week, and the time was just too short. And like my first time in a French institution, and probably I really don't get the methods or the way of writing exams and everything yet. But it was fine. Probably I just had so much expectations of myself, thinking, okay, it's gonna be like the Nigerian educational system, and obviously it's not. it's a whole different thing. I was thinking it was going to be like the Nigerian education system,
So what's different?
The difference is, okay, in Nigeria, we don't really usually have the midterm exam. And here, le medium, it's what we had here in French, the mid-semester exams. And I was like, okay, what is the mid-semester exam? And then it's kind of, you're going to be having some very crazy questions, short time. It's actually what was taught. I think that's my fault for not studying early enough. So I'm not going to drop the blame somewhere else. It's totally my fault. I didn't really put in much work earlier on. I just wanted to wait till the dying minute and put all the energy in it.
And in France, they make you study a lot. I mean, I studied myself in France, and it is pretty intense.
Yeah.
I don't know
how it is. Intense than I used to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's okay. Probably my expectations were just too high. I told myself last night that my expectations were so high, and probably I didn't I didn't meet the expectations, and I felt really, really bad. I literally cried.
In terms of succeeding at the exam, right?
Yeah, instead of succeeding at the exams, I was just probably focused on the results, the output of the exams, I was like, it was a waste of time. It's kind of spoiled my mood. Yeah.
I mean, exams are there for this. I mean, they are designed for people to maximize on the result, right? Because it's a picture of the result. So
Yeah.
it is what it is. But maybe you can learn from it in retrospect and help your future self in the future, you know, either learning the knowledge, even though, you know, at the exam, maybe you missed one or two things. Now you know what you missed. And, or, you know, having something to learn about the experience for that will help you in the future would be my kind of like unsolicited advice.
It's welcome anyway.
All right, let's go to the demo if you want.
Okay.
If you can share your screen, we'll do that, and in a really casual way. And I'm eating at the same time, so I apologize for that.
It's fine. Okay.
So remember what stacking is? So let's see. Also, there was a good there was a something. Maybe we could I could describe a little bit how city coins work also during this session. But yeah, let's do stacking. So okay, so describe what this is and maybe remind us what stacking is.
Okay. Simply putting in your
Oh, that's strange. Why do you have only one stack? I thought I sent you 100 stacks.
Yeah, it's still pending. It's been revolving
What?
since last. Yeah.
No. That's bad news. I didn't know that. All right. So, why is it still pending? Maybe I didn't put fees. Let's see. Log in. So, okay. So why is it still pending? The network will increase its capacity at the end of the month by, 10 times. I think it will be 10 times faster than now. The way it was designed was in a very conservative way, but I don't know why my transaction is still pending from yesterday. Switch account. And in my case, it shows the balance is gone. So, oh no, it shows pending. Let me increase the fees. The fees was 0.14 cents of stacks, which is okay. I'm gonna increase it. I see it pending as well in my wallet. So I'm just increasing it to 5 times, 0.36. I'm surprised. Usually it goes really fast. This is because the network is a victim of its success, like so many people are using it right now. And it was designed in a way that it was very conservative in terms of calculating the costs, the estimates of the costs, that it can only handle a certain amount of success, I guess. But upgrades are coming. First upgrade is coming by the end of this month and will increase the capacity by, or the efficiency of the network by 10 times, which is significant, will be significantly better. But maybe, so this is the Hero wallet from the desktop. That's where you would be able to stack. And let's hope that this transaction goes through during this session. It's a bit of a bad news because I wanted to demo, but so let's just demo it, pretending we have the 100 stacks, and at the end we won't just push the button. So you download the Hero wallet for the desktop. You entered your seed phrase, so it recognized your wallet. That's correct, Emmanuel?
Yeah, very correct.
And then what you do, you just click on get started. Have a chance to earn Bitcoin by locking your stacks per
Yeah, I
temporary.
did that, and then I got two options: stacking
Okay.
in a pool, stacking by yourself.
Okay, explain.
Okay, yeah, everything is clearly written here anyway. In the pool, you're more like working in groups, working with some other persons who want to contribute to a particular pool. And here you have no minimum amount of stacks. You can, with whatsoever amount you have, you just add in to it. But then there was something written somewhere.
So why is it a
Sorry.
minimum required to stack by yourself? Do you know that?
No.
It's because it's just kind of a difficult question.
Okay.
I think the founder of the designer of the protocol, they can explain that much better than me, but I think it has to do with preserving the performance of the Bitcoin or the Stacks blockchain, not to clog the number of transactions for useless purposes. Has to do with the basically the limits that exist in the real world, like the bandwidth and basically computers, they only can handle a certain amount of transactions. And there's actually an entire conversation around scaling a blockchain that is ongoing for years on. How the Bitcoin blockchain was not considered somehow, like there was a debate around how to scale the Bitcoin blockchain, and I think there were different proposals on how to do that, and new blockchains were created in order to actually solve that issue, such as this one, Stacks, which is bringing smart contracts to Bitcoin, and has a novel proof of transfer mechanism that allows DeFi on Bitcoin in a native way, which is a pretty promising use case. But there are other blockchains like Ethereum also that offers a different design protocol that also was created to facilitate scalability and smart contracts. And you've got other blockchains that sometimes they say they are really performant, like they are really fast, they have low transaction fees, and they can handle, I don't know how many thousands, or even sometimes, I don't know if millions, I don't know, I'm just throwing numbers, but they're very efficient in terms of throughput, the ability of I do a transaction and it's right away there, just like what we know with all the internet right now. When I send you a message, you get it right away. It's really efficient. Well, yes, but it is really efficient because all these softwares, they live on centralized architecture, like they are centralized, and so it's just a different type of tool that doesn't give all the other features that a decentralized network would give you, such as being censorship resistant, which which is a tool that can change the way we humans interact with each other. Like not having to trust a central party is kind of like a big deal, especially if you live in a country that has a dictatorship. For example, I'm just throwing things out there. But so basically, yeah, it is, you can stack it by yourself, and they have imposed this arbitrary threshold of 90,000 stacks in order to preserve kind of like the scalability, I think, of the network. But no worries, you can stack at any amount using a pool, and the pool will simply stack for you and for a number of people, and therefore will meet this threshold. Okay, and they will also do it in a non-custodial way. Some of them are custodial, some of them are non-custodial. So if you don't have 90,000 stacks, fine, you can stack it by. So if you click on stack in a pool, let's see what it does. And if you have question, let me know.
Yeah, one question. Previously, the stacking in the pool and by yourself, this portion that says you would have to trust the pool with the payment of your rewards. And then I think from what we learned before about the smart contract, it's more like it's self-executing set of instructions. As soon as some particular instructions are met, conditions are met, it just meets the conditions of the contract. So, but then why is this part having that condition?
That's a very good question. So in one case, you are trusting the code. So you're in a trustless system where there's a smart contract, there's a code that locks your stack amount for a period of cycles, and then automatically the code sends you the rewards. Whereas in a pool, you will be delegating stacking to the pool, and then the pool will, it's my understanding, but anybody can help us with this. I'm a student as well. They will gather all the small amounts in order to have this big amount, and then they stack in on behalf of all the stackers with the pool. They get a reward. Usually they are very transparent. You know, it's everything is on the blockchain. You transfer, like, it's not even transferring. It's it would have been nice to demo just to show how it works, but hopefully, yeah, this my 100 stacks didn't get, the 100 stacks is still stuck in the success of the network. So yeah, so in that case, you are trusting an admin, but since everything is transparent and is on the blockchain, it helps with trust, because if an admin wants to steal the yield that you are delegating to them, it's my understanding that if they are non-custodial pools, they will not be able to steal your principal. So if your principal would be 100 stacks in this case, and then they will not be able to steal, but they receive a yield for locking your 100 stacks, and then they have to pay you pro rata of your amount versus the total amount of the pool of the yield of this reward, right? So yeah, and some of them are custodial, so I would prefer a non-custodial one. Make sense?
Yeah, makes sense.
More or less.
Yeah. So in this case, you have an intermediary. In doing it yourself, it's just you and the smart contract itself.
But they're using code as well, so you can look at the code that they are using, right? So, okay, so discover pools on stacks. Okay, so that's when you want to elect the pool that you're going to stack with.
Okay.
Why don't we look at this, for example, enter the stack address. So you need the pool address, right? The stack address.
And that would
pools,
only come from,
yeah.
And the address will only come from discover pools on stacks.co.
So pools can have different addresses that correspond to particular durations. So you have to decide how much you want to stack, which pool you will delegate your stacking to, and then for how long. you want to stack. So knowing that one cycle is around 2 weeks, 16 days. So you would be locking your amount for 16 days and then stacking with the pool. So the pool will stack on your behalf. And after 16 days, your principal becomes available again to you, and the pool will send you the yield, right?
Okay.
I'll let you to continue.
Okay. Duration, but first we need to get a pool.
Right.
So I think we need to get a pool address from, I think here, discover pools on stack.co. Let's
Go
click
ahead.
on that and see. Okay. Stacking in the pool.
Can you share your screen?
Oh, okay. Somehow I'm sharing a different screen. Where is it? You share. Should be. Okay.
Okay. Let's read what it says, maybe. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, there are two ways to stack by yourself or in a pool. To stack by yourself, you will need to meet the dynamic minimum. Okay, so there's actually a minimum here as well. To stack by yourself, which is the 90,000 stacks, yeah, which can change from cycle to cycle. If you don't meet the minimum, you can still stack by pooling with others. Read the stacking guide to choose a strategy that's right for you. Okay, then stack by yourself. You can interact with the smart contract directly if you meet the minimum amount of stack required, or at least one full reward slot.
So that's the same. Stack by yourself is the same,
Yeah.
right? If you have more than this threshold that moves every cycle, then you can do that on your own. Or stack in a pool a little lower.
Okay.
So you can either stack by yourself directly from that wallet that you were showing, or from a Boom. That's an interesting option, by the way, Boom. Because it's an NFT platform, and I think they allow you to sell the reward of a cycle to someone. So when you're stacking, let's say one cycle, so 16 days, you know that at the end of the cycle, you will get a reward, which is around 8% of your amount in Bitcoin. That's what we call this Bitcoin yield. Well, Boom, somehow I think they allow you to create what they call a Boom, which is an NFT that entitles you to that reward for one cycle or any amount of cycles. And let's say you want to have today that benefit, you would be able to sell that Boom to someone, obviously for less than the actualized yield. It's a bit like finance, like, you know, like if you invest now, or if you capitalize in the future, your US dollar grows by interest rate %. So yeah, it's an experiment, but c'est hors sujet. It's not our subject today. I'm just commenting on this. But Boom is a very interesting use case, and also an NFT marketplace. I was using it to create NFTs that were sold in DVS campaign to saviors. So stack with the pool. Which pool do you want to choose, and why?
Okay. Yeah, options, distribute up to 15% APY, custodial, no custodial. I said you prefer the non-custodial.
So what is the difference?
Okay, this is having a 10% service fee. And this doesn't have a service fee. This doesn't have a service fee. This is also non-custodial, but a BTC payout and with a 5% service fee.
Yeah. All right, so there are different distinctions, and I don't think we're pretending to do a thorough analysis here of which one we would choose and why. It's just an arbitrary decision that I think we should choose Friedger's pool, but you can choose whichever you want. And to be honest, I haven't really studied this thoroughly, but I just want to give everyone an understanding of these notions of, is it custodial or non-custodial? Is there a service fee? What is it for? What are the risks? I think we talked about it, like that you need to trust the admin who is in charge of
distributing the reward.
Exactement, of receiving the rewards and then redistributing them to the participants in the pool in a pro rata basis. And then there's a last but not least distinction, which is the payout in Bitcoin or in stacks. In the case of Friedger, he converts the Bitcoin into stacks. So he's going to pool for the pool. He's going to stack for the pool, receives the Bitcoin payout, and he converts it into stacks and then redistribute it to participants of the pool. And in his case, it's non-custodial and there's no fee. So he does it pro bono. It's also the biggest pool in the community. But if you prefer a Bitcoin payout, you can choose, for example, Plan Better, and you pay a 5% service fee, but instead of having your payout in stacks, you get it in Bitcoin. And what's the difference between non-custodial and custodial? I think that Xverse is also a web mobile app that you can download. I think so. Yes, it is. And then I'm not well versed. Oh, OKCoin is an exchange place, okay, and you can use them directly, so it's convenient, it's centralized, and they have your coins in custody, so they're the ones that have them. So what does it mean, non-custodial and custodial?
Okay. Literally, non-custodial and custodial. Someone is in charge of it in the custodial. Someone takes charges of all the activities that has to do with the stacking, getting the reward, and collection of the individual input from each member of the pool, each participant. Then does the stacking on your behalf. Then for the non-custodial,
so who's in charge? Is more like the admin, right? The admin is doing all these operations, right? Because custody is when you, what is it? What's the definition of custody? Is when
giving somebody the right to own or keep a thing. More like
they have this for child, like parents when they divorce. Who's in who has the custody of the child? Meaning,
who has a
actually
legal right.
where is the child going to live? Is he going to live with mom or dad? Okay, so physically, it's a notion of physically, are your coins, I want to say coins, but it's more than like, it's more keys with you. Are you the one who's in charge of the security of your coins, or is it somebody else, like a third party? In the case of OKCoin, they're the ones that own the coins. They have, it's in your name, but it's at the bank, for example. Okay, so if I have a vault at the bank, I put my jewelry in the vault, they have custody of my jewelry. But if I put it under my mattress, okay, I hide them, then I'm the one who controls it, who is in charge of the security of my jewelry. So if someone robs the bank, then they can rob my jewelry. But if they rob my home, they can rob my jewelry. So that's the notion of custody. Obviously, OKCoin is an exchange place, so they are a custodial party, and all of the other pools are non-custodial. Okay. And in the case of OKCoin, it seems there's no fee up to 15% APY. It means if the reward is really high, they take everything above 15% APY.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's free.
Okay.
Okay.
I think I'll go
And
with Friedger.
I don't know why Staked has a 10% service fee, but that maybe they're offering other types of benefits that we don't know, or maybe they compare in a different way from others. Let's just mention that. Okay.
Yeah.
So without going into further analysis, we know a bit about custodial, non-custodial. So just to be clear, you don't like owning your keys is what is the security to your coin, because your coins are on the ledger, right? It's just a number in the ledger, but you have control of them through your keys, right? Your private seed phrase that you put inside the wallet right now, right, Emmanuel?
Yeah.
Nobody else other than you has this, right? So there's something to say about security of this seed phrase, that if you lose it, well, you lose everything, all your stacks that I sent you. Now you have USDA as well. 100 stacks plus 80 something stacks, but that we open a vault with Arcadico. Don't lose your keys, your 24 words, otherwise you lose it. In the case of OKCoin, if you lose your password, you probably can request them to verify who you are and then access your coins. Okay. But if they are being hacked, you are probably in danger. Or if they decide to freeze your account, or if they decide to, which has happened in the past when regulation wasn't, the space was, it's still very early. The space is very early, but anyways, just want to mention this: custodial, non-custodial. So let's say you choose Friedger's pool. Let's go with this.
Okay.
Okay. So I'll help you a little bit.
Okay.
So since you need to trust the admin for kind of like, this is my understanding, but I'm not sure. Someone can correct, not stealing or not making an error when he redistributes the reward. I don't think he can touch the principal, because the principal is only locked somewhere. Everything is in the code. And also you really trust, I mean, okay, let's scroll down a little bit. So since you kind of like need to trust him, semi-trust him, because I think he's trying to automatize the pool. So you wouldn't need to trust him anymore for anything. You would need to trust the pool only.
Okay.
So remember that we need to choose. So once we decided who we choose, so in the case of Friedger, we choose Friedger because it's non-custodial. So you are the one who actually still control your coins. He cannot steal them. You don't give your key to anybody. You're the one controlling them. And then you're just delegating stacking to him. And then you trust him for the purpose of redistributing the stacking reward in a correct way without making mistakes. Sometimes he makes a small mistake and then he tells the community and then he corrects it. And since everything is on the blockchain, it's pretty much easy to verify that everything, and it's also free, as we saw it. And last but not least, he converts the Bitcoin into stacks. So it's also a choice whether you want that yield, to receive that yield in Bitcoin or stacks. That's a choice. If you're more bullish, let's say, on stacks, then you would choose Friedger, okay? Then on Bitcoin. So let's scroll down a little bit. Again, he's the most popular, biggest by amount in the community. So now we trust him. We also know that he was very early with stacks. I think since 2017. He's been working with stacks, contributing in the community. He's the creator of the Catamaran swap, which is a way to exchange coins in a decentralized way and 100% on the blockchain. Nothing happens off the blockchain, which is pretty impressive. And it's a big deal for DeFi. But anyways, now you've chosen him, you trust him with his job of redistributing the rewards, and he's doing an amazing job, by the way. Now you have to choose how many cycles do you want to stack. And this is where you choose the address here, or the boombox, by the way. But let's keep it simple, just addresses.
Address, okay.
So 1 cycle will be the address number 1, 3 cycles, number 2, 6 cycles, number 3. And then if you scroll down, how long
does the cycle last?
Around 2 weeks.
Okay, 2 weeks.
So if you scroll down, I think there's an address for 12 cycles.
12 cycles, yeah.
How many months is 12 cycles?
That'll be 2 for 1. We have 2 weeks for a cycle. 12 cycles will be 2 times 12, 24.
I'm making you, this is like an exam, like a mathematics.
Yeah, like an exam. I actually felt like it was an exam immediately. I was like, what?
So you need 2 cycles more or less to do 1 month. So it would be 6 months, right?
Let's see. We have 4 weeks in the month. We have 12 weeks. Will be 3 months, 6 months. Yeah. That's 6 months.
Perfect. So yeah, I was drinking from the water of a fountain.
Fountain of knowledge.
Exactly. So I think that there are also in discussions for why is this important? Why is choosing the duration of your stacking important? Because the protocol right now works this way, that you need to decide ahead of time the period for locking your stacks. And then once it's decided, you cannot change it. And so, for example, let's say you choose 12 cycles, 6 months. So you lock the principal for 6 months, for 12 cycles to be precise. And you would not be able to unlock your stacks once it's done, once you've decided so. Not only that, but at the end of the 12th cycle, once it's unlocked, you have a 1 cycle cooldown that you cannot stack it right away in the same cycle. You need to wait for 2 weeks. And during that 2 weeks, if you decide to stack, it will start the stacking process starting from the following week, the first week coming.
Okay.
The first cycle ahead, but not the current cycle. Okay. And I think there are discussions in the community to allow dynamic stacking, that you would be able, I think, somebody can correct that as well, to stack right away without any cooldown cycles, or it will be more flexible. Okay, but just so you know, if you decide to stack for 1 cycle, it means literally that your 100 stacks will be locked for 2 weeks, and you wouldn't be able to unlock them during these 2 weeks. Okay, but at the end of which you'd receive the reward plus your principal. Let's say you decide to stack it for how long? I mean, you'll be able to decide whichever, but what would interest you to experiment?
Yeah, I was about asking the difference between the 1 cycle, apart from the time difference, of course.
Right. So
1 cycle, 3 cycles, 6 and 12 cycles.
If you stack for 1 cycle, so what's the purpose of all of this? It's paying you a yield, right? A Bitcoin yield, an interest rate somehow. So you're locking it, and then it pays you a reward for locking it, and you get your stack back. That's why it's great to actually, so I want you to do this as soon as the pending transaction is through, hopefully soon. I really want you to experiment so you can actually learn by doing. What does it do, this? Okay, so let's say, so it's just a decision of duration. And obviously, if you decide to stack for 3 cycles, you get a bigger reward because it's pro rata temperatures. So you get around 8 to 13%. It's variable interest in 1 year. So if you stack for 12 cycles, which is 6 months, you would get half of that, which would be, I don't know, 4 or 5% or 6. So if you stack six stacks for, if you stack 100 stacks for 12 cycles, in 6 months from now, they give you 100 stacks plus 5 stacks or 6 stacks. Okay. But if you stack it for only 1 cycle, then it's pro rata. So it's, you divide by 24, right? So it will give you cents, a couple of cents. You can make the calculation. You can calculate how much, right? Obviously, this is just like a demo. So you probably want to stack for a little bit more than 100 stacks, but everything adds up, you know? It's just a mindset. If you give a loan to someone, you know, you make them pay an interest rate somehow.
Yeah.
Any questions?
No, that's clear.
So let's say you stack for 1 cycle just for the sake of it, and maybe for making Friedger to work more. Giving him some more work, so he finally automatized all of that. I know he's doing a wonderful work, so I'm just
what
kidding.
we need now is just the pool address, which we can see here.
Yeah, just copy it. It's demo, the entire how to.
Okay, so we go back to tax.
And then you go to your desktop wallet, not the web wallet.
This. Here. And
so this would be stacking for 1 cycle with Friedger. Okay.
Yeah.
Then you just input the amount. In that case, 100, but you didn't. Unfortunately, the transaction didn't go through yet. But you would be. Let's try and see what it does, even if you don't have the balance.
Okay.
Just
100.
Voila. So then it says there's a recap on the right. You're pooling 100 stacks with the pool address. So don't make mistakes, right? But there's a recap at the end showing you, asking you to confirm. Don't send it to a random address. You would lose your stacks. Okay.
Yep.
And then if you click continue or something.
That's a duration. I think we're supposed to pick there. So the limit.
Okay. Is there something to click above or underneath?
Okay, I think if you click on this, it's
right. You can click on indefinite, and just to explain what this does. Now you're stacking for 1 cycle with this address. Indefinite means this is what will happen in that case. Friedger will stack for 1 cycle, then it will be unstacked for 1 cycle. If you do nothing, Friedger, since you click on indefinite here, will understand that he needs to stack again. So 2 weeks you'll be stacking, then you have a 2-week open window where your stack is not giving you any interest rate, but you can unstack.
Okay.
And basically unlock them. And then if you don't unstack during that 2 weeks cooldown period, Friedger understands this as a signal that, oh, okay, I have to stack it again. And he does it again. So if you had chosen another address for, I don't know, 12 cycles, 6 months, then the same would have happened. After 6 months, you have a 2-week, like 1 cycle cooldown. If you do nothing, Friedger, the pool will understand to, okay, he wants me to do it again. So your stacks would be stacked for another 6 months. Okay. So you can maybe click on limited so that in that case, he doesn't need to understand. Or if you want it to be indefinitely stacked, then you can click on indefinite. Okay. And then let's continue.
And
So see, cycles last for 2,100 blocks, Bitcoin blocks, currently 15 days.
15 days, yeah. Okay. Confirm and pull. This transaction can't be reversed. There'll be no way to unlock your stacks. Okay, you said that already. Consider the following cooldown cycle. After you finish pulling, you will have to wait 1 cycle. Okay, we explained that as well. And research your pool. Paying out rewards is at the discretion of the pool. Yeah, make sure you've researched and trust the pool you're using.
Wow.
Okay.
I think you can trust Friedger for sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
but now we
nothing
don't
is
have
for sure, but whatever. And then click on confirm and start pulling. Obviously, you don't have the amount right now, but oh, you have to. Is it enter your password to initiate?
Enter your password to initiate pulling. Okay.
Maybe you don't want to share that. I don't know.
All right.
Maybe it's encrypted. Just put 1 letter.
Okay, let's see.
Yeah, it's
okay. Yeah.
It's going to fail because you don't have the balance, but we're just demoing. And I think you should do it. You should try and see how this works, just to put yourself in the mindset. But it's up to you in the end. And the network.
Okay.
So it's probably going to fail because the balance is not there. Oh, what? Pending?
It doesn't seem like he's gonna fail.
Okay. I don't get it. Didn't we put 100 stacks?
Yeah, we did. But I think this is like a fee or something. I saw this somewhere as a fee.
That is the pending transaction I'm sending you. This is my wallet address XZYFC. So you're delegating 0.008. I think this is a mistake, and I think Friedger will hate us now. But at least he will know that we did what we said. I'm sorry, Friedger, if you received the 0.008, you don't need to send it back. Okay, whatever. So try and stacking 99 stacks once the previous transaction gets through.
Okay.
And do you have any questions about this?
I don't know. This is all clear.
Okay, I told you it was going to be really relaxed, right?
Yeah.
Where does this Bitcoin yield comes from? Remember that?
Okay. Let me see. Put in your coins, you get stable coins. The coin goes to the miners, right?
Huh?
We have the miners and the stackers. Stack it, put in your coin.
Right.
You get a stable coin as a reward. But the coins you put into the system, it's used by the miners, right?
Why?
And they as well get their reward kind of in Bitcoin. Mixing up things.
So let me try and share. Maybe I saw some chart on Citicoin, on the Citicoin website that was explaining how this works. Okay, let me share my screen. Let's remember what this is all about. Okay, Can you see my screen here?
Yeah, I can.
All right, so let's read this.
Okay.
This is
Bitcoins
in
are
the
powered by stacks,
uh-huh.
a protocol that enables smart contract on the Bitcoin network.
Okay. So what do you understand of this chart?
Um,
Of this
miners are
illustration?
sending in their stacks to a smart contract.
Voila.
Mhm. And a portion of it goes to New York City
Ouais.
wallet, and another portion goes to the stackers, and they get New York City coin, NYC.
Who gets New York City coin?
Not the miners, but the stackers. Yeah, these are the two components of the city coin. The miners put in a
Exactly.
particular amount of stacks. 70% of it goes to stackers, 30% goes to the city wallet. Then
Ouais. If I just look at miners, forget about these two. Miners,
okay.
they send stacks, in the case of New York City coins, into a smart contract. That's correct. And for a chance of receiving a New York City coin.
New York City coin.
So they don't do it for free. They do it because they have a model, probabilistic model, that makes them to think that this is profitable for them. They send stacks, and in value and in probability, they get more New York City coin. If their model and if not, they're not too unlucky and they have enough capital that that is pretty straightforward. Okay. And that's how the smart contract literally creates those coins from nothing. You see, it appears here from nothing. Poof, it appears, right? Once you have stacks, once you have city coins that are created in the system, then you can become a stacker. A stacker, as we know, is you lock your coins and then you get a pro rata of the of the commitment of what is sent in terms of stacks here by miners. And as you said, that's correct. 70% of this goes to stackers, 30% is a donation to the city. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so this explains it pretty well how this system works. With stacks, it's the same thing, except in this case, miners, instead of spending stacks, they spend Bitcoin. And the smart contract, instead of issuing a New York coin, it's issuing a stacks token, right? And so here, you as a stacker of stacks, not New York City coin, you're here, and there's no city here.
There's no city wallet yet.
Right? This part was invented for this this protocol here. And so stackers, they participate in the consensus mechanism by stacking their stacks and receiving a Bitcoin here. And no cities here. 100% are, I think it's 100%. I'm not sure. Somebody can maybe correct or refine. But your Bitcoin doesn't come from anywhere. It comes from miners spending this Bitcoin. And in the case of Bitcoin, you've got only this part. You don't have stackers here. There's nothing. It's only this miners and a smart contract. That's all. And what they do is, instead of spending stacks, a Bitcoin, sorry, or here stacks, they spend electricity. They spend electricity and then they receive a Bitcoin. Okay.
Yeah.
And I just want to mention here that New York City coins are mined only. What does it mean? It means at the beginning, when it's launched a few days ago, there were no city coins. Miners sent their digital money, stacks, or oil in this case, into the smart contract, and it created a New York City coin.
New York City coin. Okay.
So maybe we can we can just you know, end the session and you know, read these 3 steps to refine a little bit what we understand about this, knowing that next week you're the one presenting. So if you have any questions, you have to make sure you get them before next week, and I can help you during the week if you want.
Okay, then.
You'll be presenting anything you want, but yes. Okay.
Okay. Okay, so this is more like the same thing as the Miami coin anyway, but this time around is for New York City because it's basically the same thing. The step 1 is the mining city coin is performed by forwarding stacks token into a smart contract in a given stack block, and it's a one-way process. Miners are rewarded with a new city coin token. Then, like I said
Okay,
earlier
so they
on,
forward their stacks, okay,
yeah,
in the contract, okay,
mhm.
in a given stacks block. And then one-way process. It's a one-way process, okay? You just send them and you cannot recover them. And then there's
What
a
comes
there's a probabilistic function here that elects winners among miners, okay? And I can show you this here. I can show you how it looks like. This is a block number.
Yeah.
37,825. This is the total amount of stacks that were forwarded by miners. There were 53 miners, and there's one reward entitled to a winner. Okay, and you can see here winner release, and there's one winner per block. And so they do that, and using the law of large numbers, they can calculate a model to send their stacks in a reasonable way that makes them to understand that, you know, this will not make them lose money. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Continue and conclude.
Stackers receive the stacks spent to mine the city coin. 70% of mining rewards are distributed to people who choose to stack their city coins. And the remaining 30%, of course, goes to the city wallet as support, like contribution to the development of the city, like we said for the Miami city. And then the people or the participants have a say in what can decide on what they want this portion of the 30%
Yeah.
to be used for in the city of New York. And
right. So the 3% of the stacks sent by the miners go to a wallet that the city can claim at any moment.
mm-hmm.
And they can convert it in US dollar if they want. Or another option is they could stack their stacks
it becomes stacker.
and get paid a Bitcoin. You know, when you stack these stacks, you get paid a Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And I just want to share maybe 1 or 2 tweets here. What do you understand by this here? This tweet by Balaji Srinivasan.
City coins do something interesting. They align residents within cities and encourage economic competition between cities. This is superior to the sclerosis within cities and relatively low migration to because that's it's
City coins do something interesting. They align residents
and encourage economic competition between cities.
Let's see. The city coins also do something else by giving a real-time mark-to-market on city performance as a whole. They select for leaders who are competent capital allocators. A true CEO of the city will boost the value of every resident's stake. Okay. In less receptive areas, you could combine city coins with the shadow mayor concept I discussed with Tim Ferriss. Essentially, set up a parallel public service organization that's wholly opt-in. Start providing community services and have people support via coin. Yeah. there is something kind of magic. He's talking about this alignment of residents and their cities, because when you are a holder of the coin, in this case, for example, New York City coin, if the city does well, your coin would do well as well, and you would be participating in the success of your city. If it does not well and you're not happy with it, you can simply not participate and participate in the success of another city by selling your coins in New York City, for example, and buying the coins of Miami. Yes?
Okay. But is that okay? One question. Is it possible to get the New York City coin you got? Is
Say
it
again?
is there a possibility to swap two different city coins? Like you're having New York City coin and you're swapping for Miami coin. Is that possible?
Yes, it will be possible very soon. The New York City coin was just launched, I don't know, days ago, right?
Yeah.
So it's very, very new. And Miami coin was launched in July. Was it launched in July, I think, or August? So yes, they will be swappable. Yes. Yeah, I just wanted to comment this, that why is it unlocking? Why is it aligning? The interest of the citizens with their mayor, with their cities. It's because they would be able to, by holding and even stacking their coins, accrue value if the coin does well, and the underlying would be that the city does well. Make sense?
Yeah.
So in a way, it is a new tool that didn't exist before. The way we discussed this in our previous session about muni bonds, but until now, what you can do with your city, you can vote, you can voice your concerns, or you can leave your city if you want, right? And every 4 years you can vote for a new mayor. Here,
Yeah.
at any time, you can hold city coins to support your city. And if a city does well, you participate in that success. And it's supporting the city because the city here is getting a donation. It's getting a donation of 30%, which is, I think it's more than 20 million since July, I think, or August, for Miami already, which is a significant. I mean, it's not insignificant amount of the city budget already of Miami, and for New York as well. New York, it's been a couple of days and it's already $3 million, it seems. So there is this alignment that operates here and that incentivizes the city leaders to do good for the city to thrive, for the city to have a good economic environment.
Yeah.
And at the same time, he's also talking about competition, like a friendly competition between cities. That if one city doesn't do well, then I'm going to support another city, and everybody is aligned because everybody wants the success. Not only the leaders, they will, support us as well, citizens as well, and not only they will not be only asked every 4 years whether they want the success of their mayor, but all the time.
All the time, yeah, every day.
Right. So I think that's, I don't know how he puts it, Balaji. Let's see, where was it? I'm lost here on my Twitter feed. But yeah, $3 million. It's incredible. And it's some people think that this is only the beginning. And there's something else to say about city coins, that the way they are engineered, the tokenomics, makes them a good candidate for becoming currencies. It has to do with the issuance schedule, which is completely different from Bitcoin and stacks. That there's an issuance schedule. It's a debate, but whatever. Just wanted to mention that. Any questions?
That's a lot.
Right, he's talking about this real-time mark-to-market, right? So through that Citicoin, if this tool is successful, you would be able to measure that success of the city in terms of how much the coin is worth. What's the market cap of the coin, and so how important or how successful is this city? A bit like a company, that you can measure the success of a company through its stock. For example, is Tesla a successful company? If you look at the stock, you could say that it's even more successful than in the reality, but that's an opinion as well. Okay, any questions?
No.
We did a big hour, so I think we're over delivering, because since the beginning I said a half an hour, but we've done an hour each time. But I hope it was useful for you. I really encourage you, but again, you do whatever you want, to stack your stacks. I think the network is going through a congestion. Liquidity seems pretty low, and I think it's across the network. So, but you'll receive them, don't worry. And I'll make sure, if it fails by any chance, I'll send them back to you, and then you have the procedure on going forward and stack your stacks and see for yourself. Just stack them for one cycle, just to annoy Friedger for one cycle, even more. And then last week, this week is your last week. So just want to mention that anybody in the community can donate their NFTs. I know that, for example, Alexander.btc this morning has donated one of his amazing blocks. He's got this collection of blocks. It's a piece of art that encodes seed threads in 1 and 0s. And I've heard that Asteria and Bitcoin Bird number, I forgot your number, are also donating. I know the network is slow today. Again, the blockchain is being, a victim of its success. We are also, waiting for our transaction here with Emmanuel. But thanks to the three of them, and you have until next week. So you have 1 week to donate one NFT if you want to support our fundraising for Emmanuel. Just want to show maybe the NFTs that were already donated, and then I'll let you go, Manu, if you have 5 more minutes. Is that okay?
Yeah.
So let me share my screen one more last time. So except from this one, I think this one is not a donated one. Oh, here you go. We've got block number 2021 that was donated by Alexander.btc. Thank you so much. It's really heartwarming to have so much support from the community. What else we have? We have a Stacks Fox. It's not loading for some reason. This is a new one. I don't know who donated this one. It's awesome. It's a Citadel. Friedger donated this one, day 13. That was sold in DVS campaign. I'm donating this one as well. I'm trying to sell it for this insignificant amount of 268. And maybe it's too pricey. I'm going to lower it. And then we've got a Picasso Magic, Stack Samurai, Stacks Parrot, a Saint that was donated as well, a Blurred Museum, a Mushroom 4, a Funky Donut, a Disruptor, several Stacks Pops, a Metaroth, several Bells Witches, Satoshi's Team, a Stackulant, another Stacks Fox, and an Anim Girl. We've got all these NFTs, and you have 1 week to donate one of your NFTs. after which we'll have a 1 month and we'll try and sell these NFTs during this 1 month, and all proceeds will go to Emmanuel. Further details will be given soon. Any questions?
No.
Okay. What about a conclusion? Do you like these NFTs, by the way? What do you think about these NFTs? So again,
I think
all
the
of them
mushroom.
except one, I think it's a mistake that it's here, but this one has to charge. Maybe somebody, I think. Let's see. It's not charging. Okay, it's a new one, so we'll discover it soon. But what do you think of these NFTs?
I think the mushroom is my favorite.
Okay. So during 1 month, starting next week, we'll be selling them to whoever wants them. There's just a small detail that 6 of them will be sold exclusively for a symbolic price to saviors of Divya, and then the rest anybody can purchase them, and all proceeds will go to you, plus unsold NFTs after 1 month. And the unsold NFTs, you'll be able to sell them on the marketplace here or on, there's other websites as well. Voilà, c'est tout pour moi. Tu as une conclusion, Emmanuel, parce que j'ai l'impression de parler trop.
Non, pas du tout. C'est pas conclusion. C'est plus facile de donner une conclusion en français qu'en anglais. Je sais pas pourquoi.
Vas-y, en français, so a French conclusion for those of you who speak French.
Okay,
Comment tu te sens? How do you feel?
Relaxed, I would say. Very relaxed, at least better than during the week when I was mourning my exams, but now it's it's fine. Okay, but I would just say it's like I always say, I'm learning something really new that I really don't have much understanding of it yet, but as time proceeds and could have more time to go over each session we've had, of course, and try to do research into each and every one of those details that I really would like to know more on, and hopefully get better at it and teach someone else.
Right, exactly. Yeah, prolong the teaching. We're all students here. So we did 5 sessions today, so it was great. Just for next week, so this is your challenge. If you can prepare a little presentation of, I don't know, 10 minutes plus 5 minutes, a 5-minute Q&A of whatever you want that you learned in the space. What is it that impacted you the most? Just a recap, we talked about Bitcoin, we talked about smart contracts, smart contracts on Bitcoin. Then we talked about DeFi a little bit. We opened a vault at Arcadico with a stable coin. We talked about city coins, and we demoed stacking.
Yeah, we talked about I think NFTs.
We also talked about NFTs and Tasha's experiment.
Tasha, yeah.
The
destroyed diamond NFT. And transfer the value to
But it's there's much more to learn in the space. There's a lot to learn that we didn't talk about. But yeah, it's just an introduction, let's say.
Yeah.
Like
this builds interest, and interest builds passion, and it goes on from there. Yeah,
there's a little bit of art, finance, economics, game theory. There's lots of things that you can explore in the space, and I just wanted you to have like an overall introduction of this community, the Stacks community, that is something that inspires me a lot. C'est tout pour aujourd'hui. That's it for today. It's enough of torture. But again, next week you have the entire floor for yourself, and you can take up to an hour if you want, and you can look at what Divya did in her time in the first 2 weeks. She did a little PowerPoint presentation, no stress. Maybe you can highlight a few things that you learned for somebody else to come and see your presentation and see, oh, okay, this is a little intro to Bitcoin, smart contracts on Bitcoin, stacks. What's this all about? Give that type of audience like your point of view, and maybe highlight a few things, and that's it. And then from there, we'll have like a 1 month selling of the NFTs, and then I'll proceed to sending all the proceeds to you, to your wallet, and you'll be free from this. And in the meantime, I'm still running my run. I have 128 miles left to go to reach my goal of 350 miles.
I hope I can do that someday. I'm so lazy.
It's 7 miles at a time. Yeah. It's difficult at the beginning, especially, but once you start, it becomes a habit. Although I took a one week break last week, but yeah. C'est tout pour aujourd'hui, Emmanuel. Merci beaucoup.
Hey.
So if you have any questions, if you need some help during the week, let me know. And next week I won't be speaking at all. You'll be having the floor on your own. So just so you know, I'm looking forward to it actually, because I'm tired of speaking. Especially I probably made a few mistakes here and there. So yeah. And surtout keep it burning no matter what. Okay.
Yeah. Okay then.
Merci beaucoup, Emmanuel.
Yeah, merci.
Let me know during the week if you need any help. Keep it burning.
Okay,
Garde ta flamme intacte. Okay?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, see you next week. I'm looking forward to it. Tschüss.
Okay.
Bye-bye.